Good evening, I'm Liyana Hassanel. Welcome to Bizworld. Malaysia Digital Economy Corporation MDEC has launched the Global Technology Grant GTG, which provides up to 2 million ringgit funding for technology companies and technology accelerators to expand their global market presence. The initiative is aimed at nurturing global champions, driving investments and catalyzing a digital innovation ecosystem. In a statement, MDEC said the funding is open to both local and foreign-owned tech companies and must be in operation for at least 1 year. For local companies, they must have a minimum issued and paid-up capital of 20,000 ringgit and a minimum of 51% equity held by Malaysians. On the other hand, foreign-owned companies must be incorporated in Malaysia under either of the Companies Acts, with a minimum issued and paid-up capital of 500,000 ringgit. Submissions for the GTG are open from tomorrow to September 15th, with evaluation and approval set to be completed by October. A survey by Department of Statistics Malaysia showed that businesses are pessimistic on their outlook in the third quarter of 2021. Chief Statistician Datuk Sri Muhammad Uzir Mahidin said all sectors covered are anticipating unfavorable business conditions in light of severe and prolonged COVID-19 pandemic in the country. Based on the Business Tendency Survey, the confidence indicator further dipped to 21.3% in the reference quarter from 3.1% drop in the preceding quarter. The confidence indicator of the wholesale and retail trade sector plunged to negative trajectory with 39.4% versus 5.6% in the second quarter of 2021. Meanwhile, the industry and services sectors also indicated increased pessimism, with the confidence indicator dropping to 11% and 22.8% respectively. Concurrently, the construction sector also anticipated their business situation to recede in the reference quarter with a score of 45% against a drop of 30.5% in the second quarter. Looking at the sentiment for the upcoming 6 months, the chief statistician said businesses turned pessimistic on their business outlook for the second half of 2021.
A world-renowned economist, leader in sustainable development, public policy analyst, senior United Nations advisor and best-selling author. Also syndicated columnist whose monthly newspaper columns appear in more than 100 countries. Money Matters speaks with Professor Jeffrey Sachs with me, Muhammad Ahmad Hamdan, this Saturday at 5 p.m. only on TV3.
The domestic aviation sector is expected to get back on track to pre-pandemic level by end of next year. National carrier Malaysia Airlines Berhad, however, believed full recovery for the international routes would happen only in middle 2023 or early 2024, depending on the pandemic situation.
We are quite positive that the restart will start somewhere in quarter 4. And we will still get back to the pre-pandemic level for domestic roughly by end of 2022 if the situation improves as the current projection. But for international, it's a much more longer outlook.
Malaysia Airlines currently handles around 1,000 passengers a day compared to 28,000 peak during pre-pandemic. The national carrier still operates its international flights with reduced frequency to serve students and frontliners. They include flights to London, Australia, South Korea and Japan. Meanwhile, the Civil Aviation Authority of Malaysia will introduce a plan next month to help airlines save time, fuel cost. Meanwhile, the Malaysian Aviation Commission, MAVCOM, has revised its 2021 passenger traffic forecast downwards. It now expects a contraction of between 77% and 80.2% year-on-year, equivalent to between 5.3 million and 6.1 million passengers. This was significantly lower compared to the 18.9 million to 20.6 million passengers previously projected in April 2021. The revised forecast assumes a lower load factor and a longer period of seat capacity recovery by airlines. In the second quarter of 2021, the total passenger traffic stood at 1.3 million, the lowest since second quarter 2020, when it was at 800,000. MAVCOM said the reimposition of the movement control orders in the fourth quarter of 2020 until the second quarter of this year had halted the recovery of domestic passenger traffic. International passenger traffic remains marginal due to the ongoing international border closures. And that's all the time we have for Bizworld. I'm Liyana Hassanel. Thank you for watching and stay safe.